going to be talking about the crisis that is the current landscape of the trading card game world, and you might not know a lot of the things I'm about to bring up in this video. Make sure you guys smash a little crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. So, I'm going to be talking about the current landscape of all of the trading card games that I keep an eye on, some generalized discussion points here. So first of all, we're gonna talk about Yu-Gi-Oh! And I guess other disclaimer here. While it might not look it, when one trading card game is having a bad time, others will flourish. But what happens when the generalized landscape of some of the bigger ones look like they're failing? So Yu-Gi-Oh! Right now is in a borderline Tier 0 format, whether or not you choose to acknowledge that. It's driving away the casual player base, but the competitive player base is loving that. I know, I understand that, you know, you have to have a give and take at certain points in the format, but you have to remember, in a format like this, where if your casual player base, the much bigger part of the pie chart is upset with the format, I hate to tell you this, but unfortunately, there has to be some sort of fix to that. So with Yu-Gi-Oh! Facing its doom and gloom here for the format, more and more people are going to look to other, card games as, alternatives for, flex spots, trying to, breathe some fresh air here. Well, that ties us into what's going on here. So Yu-Gi-Oh! Tier 0 format product is doing okay in terms of like how we're doing here. I mean, Maven's was a huge success. The Crystal set, Crystal's Bond Revenge with all the Starlights, actually looks like it's gonna not be a banger, unfortunately. A lot of people, it's a very casual driven set, but with the format being the way it is and the Starlights, not being as easily and as accessible from what I'm hearing, that's not gonna be good. So we might be starting the product dip here, because then you hit Amazing Defenders, which is probably not going to do so well either. And then you have, Photon Hypernova, which will be a banger in my opinion. So there's that. Now, that's your product landscape for Yu-Gi-Oh! Now, Magic the Gathering just blew their butthole out, is the best way to say it. If you haven't been keeping up with the Magic world, stocks dropped for Hasbro. Hasbro owns Magic, by the way. They have basically done some pretty stupid things. They printed official $1,000 pack proxy. Imagine, I've been saying for years that Yu-Gi-Oh! Should do the secret layers for like alternate arts. You all know you would love that. It wouldn't be bad to like have alternate arts, and I would love the living crap out of that, but not on the scale that they do it and whatnot. But Hasbro basically has been being the little greed monster. Now, I highly recommend you look into some other channels and watch into this, because they're overprinting product, all right, which means that they're destroying long-term, longevity for the product. You're probably like, doesn't Yu-Gi-Oh! Do the same thing? I mean, yes and no. In modern era, there's a lot more of it going around, but Yu-Gi-Oh's got its product lines pretty taken care of. You have, the greed monster out here. Since we're overprinting everything, we're going to drop way more sets every year, all right, which means that more and more people, they're going to get squeezed for more money. And that's not something that you need to be doing to your customer base. And then I mentioned the $1,000 proxy pack for cards that you can't even use. So, if you line up all of these pieces here, well, that means that if your customer base is already fed up with you, then you're going to see a lot of things start to crumble around Magic the Gathering. And that's kind of what we're seeing right now. What was it, the chief CFO or whatever just left Hasbro. But the way that Magic the Gathering is looking right now as a game, it's doom and gloom over there as well. So Yu-Gi-Oh's dancing around the Tier 0 format. People are looking to other games right now. They're looking at Magic and they're like, oh my god, they're like, well, there's a fire over here. So that's two of the big, three that are kind of, experiencing some issues. Now, as we kind of dance on over here out of the big three, we're going to look at Cardfight Vanguard really quick. Right now, Vanguard is having a giant controversy over Deer Days, which is a new video game. It's going to be the official simulator. It's available on Switch, and it's available on Steam. Cost of the game is $70. Now, I understand that $70 for a video game is a little bit detouring. $60 would have been a little bit more enticing, but then you have to spend $70 more on DLC to get the rest of the cards. So it's $140 for an official game for you to be able to play that isn't, I don't think it supports crossplay from the Switch to Steam. So people are looking at this game as a way to get new players involved in the game. And right now, the entire Cardfight Vanguard community is having an entire, shit fest going around with itself because they're upset with the price tag on this official game. Now, having an entire, card pool handed to you comes with a cost. I understand. I'm not justifying the $140 price tag. It needs to cost some sort of monetary value for sure, but that's a little bit ridiculous in and itself. Plus, the rest of the financial year hasn't been the necessarily greatest for Vanguard. A lot of people like Vanguard's still a game. Yeah, it is. Product, secondary market is as strong as it's ever been. It's ridiculous. I love when cards just disappear and they don't get restocked, ever. All right? You could be looking for something that hasn't been on the market for 9 months, and you're just like, oh yeah, that's cool. Still got 3 formats, but secondary market still going strong. It's just right now the community is exploding over the fact that $140 for a complete video game is crazy. So that's what? 3 issues there. Now on to Digimon. Digimon just released a set with 27 erratas? Well, 24, 27 erratas, I think, for the upcoming set. And I heard, well, to be fair, quality control across Vanguard and Digimon has been pretty crap for a little while, from my understanding, with errata. I don't understand how you can have a game out here in the West and, mess up translations and things that bad, but it's large numbers of erratas. I don't really keep up too much with Digimon's metagame, but, from somebody looking in, and you're going, that's a lot of erratas. How do you mess up product that bad? It's very interesting. I don't have any opinions on Dragon Ball. I believe One Piece, I heard sneak peek events went good. Secondary market looks good for One Piece, to my understanding, other than people do want cheaper cards, which is understandable. I think a few people were complaining about the cost of sealed product, but you're going to have that really anywhere. That's literally my 2 cents right now. Honestly, One Piece looks like, I'm going to say it, like, not really much of a bonfire over there, Vanguard, Magic, and, Yu-Gi-Oh! Are all just like, ooh, big bonfires, and Yu-Gi-Oh's bonfire right now is not even that bad. Now, let's go off to Pokemon over here. Now, everything might look hunky-dory out here for Pokemon, but these set ratios for these full art cards is alarming. I saw TCG Player release a statement that was 1 in 600 packs to get the Lugia. Now, Pokemon's got it interesting because when their market and niche for these collector's cards is also the Umbreon going out around as well. It's $500, and plus Pokemon kind of has this policy where they can just reprint a booster set at any time. So keeping sealed product of Pokemon necessarily isn't the craziest idea out here. Because, Pokemon can just go, oop, sorry, we just took the rug out from underneath you, and you're like, oh yeah, well, there goes, all of the equity that you had, set aside in this product. So, overall, I think that Silver Tempest as a set looks good. Pull rates are extremely crazy, to try to get stuff. Pokemon's secondary market, the collector's investment, I think makes it the safest of the big 3 right now. Well, actually, I that and Yu-Gi-Oh secondary market's doing fine. But overall, I don't know, it's very interesting. But Pokemon long term, I keep hearing the same thing. Boxes are getting, secondary market value keeps depleting, going down and down and down, more and more and more. So that's definitely something too. So if you can pick up, I do know that people have been having more fun opening Pokemon than Yu-Gi-Oh, but to be fair, opening Mavens was fun for Yu-Gi-Oh. So that's kind of the current state of the trading card game world from my eyes. There's probably more things happening out there for sure, but these are just kind of the little tips of the iceberg and things that I notice. And kind of with the whole world economy the way it is right now, overall sales across the board haven't stopped. Things are still moving. Cards are still selling. Even people are like, oh my god, cards are still moving. They still exist. People don't seem to understand that. But there's that. So what do you think about the state of the trading card game plane of existence? Please leave a comment down below, tell me what you guys think, and I'll see your beautiful faces back here later in the day, guys. Peace out. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.